The infamous Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Good game. Good graphics. Good audio design, good characters, all the classic characters. It was a good recreation, remake of everything they've ever done. Obviously, the original Modern Warfare. But this game, it is what started the modern take on how they want to start doing their games now. And even the other games, I think this one feels the best. It's so strange because even as they build upon it, it still holds such a quality standard compared to its other similar modern titles as of late. And it's really, I don't think it's something you quite notice too until you especially the campaign, like multiplayer. Okay, you're probably really not going to think too much of anything like that at all if you're literally just playing multiplayer. But let's say you replay the campaign, you come back to it, the single player mode, and especially just comparing everything else that's close to it, it's pretty wild. I noticed it like instantly. Cause and I was trying to sit there and figure out, like, how is this looking, feeling, and sounding better than it probably should? It's like an original movie, or like an original, a lot of things really. Like, you cannot beat that first kind of experience because there's so much effort and energy put into it. It's what really launched everything that it can with whatever engine they're using. They're doing something special. I don't know quite what it is, but... And then you could boot up any of the other older Call of Duties, and like, they've always held a quality standard, but this game... And Call of Duty's not cheap, and this is a perfect example of why, is because you're getting something so pristine out of it, the package deal. It's so enjoyable. The cutscenes?
Echo 3-1 to Charlie 2 actual.
Go for actual.
LZ is in sight.
Looks like our boys are right on time, Colonel.
They're like literally like a movie. I think it's kind of a hit and miss with other titles because it's always going to be some random, like, story that's hard to connect with, that's kind of out there. You may or may not know how to, like, really handle it. It's just a different direction. It's not quite like it's just every decision they chose to make with this game was just perfect. There's a reason why it's the most popular. It's still the most relevant in a way as of right now. You could argue that there's still plenty of people playing it for sure. It's definitely a trademark, or how would you phrase that? Landmark? It's the pinnacle of what Call of Duty can offer even today. And every game that has been made has led up to this point. I can't imagine the creation process of you know, this was a big deal when it came out. And you will notice a lot of games doing that kind of thing, right? Like, hey, we're kind of like remaking our games, or games from now on are going to be done in this sort of new engine. It's the engines, I think, that are the key here. That's just my guess of what kind of is happening behind the scenes. And it makes a big difference because obviously as time goes on, you have such a quality standard to uphold, and things have to look better, they have to be better. People expect more, especially longtime fans since day one. But for a fan like me, for example, who kind of keeps this franchise at bay, it's because of games like this that really make me appreciate that I participate in playing Call of Duty at all. Because there's so many games out there, there's billions of them, and granted, in today's standards, like, they're all pretty good. They're literally either AAA or they're not. But it's so hard to to beat their you can't top them. They're so on their own level. All the studios that do work on the game, Activision especially, it's really good. I don't know, I can't stop, like, sure, there has to be more to a game than eye candy and all that graphics, but that's exactly my point, is that, like, if they were to have done this with any other game for some reason, I definitely don't think it would have turned out the same at all. And obviously they made the best choice. They have the data, they have the stats, they know where they're at with their games and all the numbers, and so yeah, Modern Warfare, obviously, sure, yeah. I mean, it's the most relevant today. People are going to be able to connect with it more because of their surroundings, and it's not just a video game, it's not just an escape, but it is a reality, it is a simulation, it is stuff that may or may not be happening today per se, but even just like, people take note of these things, you know, what kind of technology are they using within the game, what kind of guns are they using, what kind of outfits, what colors, what do the buildings look like? And you look at this game and you can look outside and it doesn't look much different. That's not even counting how great the game looks. It looks just as good as real life, which, I mean, is pretty common now, to be fair. But it's great. Everyone loves Captain Price. Everyone loves... There's so many Call of Duty characters, but the ones in here, people really like. And I can definitely pick up on that too. Because I'm not specifically biased to any one Call of Duty per se. Because I've actually liked each of them for what they are. But if there was like a go-to, or... Yes, this game is so recent, sure, but like... Yeah, this is definitely a good choice. For sure. Because really, you have the option and the choice every single day. Do you want to commit yourself to this game? As far as endgame, do you want to 100% it? Do you want to get all the trophies? All the achievements, whatever? And, you know, obviously the multiplayer, blah blah blah. And, yeah, this is a great, solid choice. Obviously, if I played it more often, this would definitely be what I would go to. And this game is what also sparked up another popular... Maybe that'll be for another time, but another popular Call of Duty title that's very active, very online, battle royale. So a lot of good came out of this. This is what started them making their new menus, their new UIs, slapping everything together. It's all organized. It's all there. Granted, you gotta spend some time with it and kind of really get to know their system. But just like with other Call of Duties of this quality, same issues again. The menus are kind of hard to navigate, especially on console. You're clicking on way too many things to do like one thing basically. Like, it could be simpler. But one thing I like about the accessibility options is that if you're comparing this to real life, for example, you want those options. You want to have the exact gun you want, the exact attachments, know all the stats. You want your gear, grenades, everything. And if even customization, cosmetic kind of stuff, you can do everything so down to a T. Like, basically the possibilities are endless. And in a real life situation, that's definitely not a bad thing, because when you're limited to what you can and can't do, and such a like serious, potentially dangerous, granted, military, like, they're always there, but they're not always going to war, they're not always battling, they're not always doing stuff, right? So like, there's obviously downtime, and it just needs to exist. But ultimately, yeah, as far as the training, as far as like everything, you're putting yourself out there so much that you definitely deserve these options. You're in this game, you're playing, you're participating, you're buying it, which is a big one. So yeah, you want all that stuff. So I get it. Like, it's something easy to complain about, but there is a reason for it, and I understand that. So yeah, the menus are a little wonky, in my opinion. And what else? And it's expensive. It's always been expensive. They're not getting cheaper, but obviously there's like sales and stuff, right? And they take up a lot of storage. So I mean, really, if you want to play Call of Duty, it's gonna ask a lot of you, which most people can handle it. And obviously, because of its demographic and its fan base, whoever is going to play Call of Duty is going to be more than prepared for the storage space, the price, all that stuff. Like, it's funny that they don't exactly appeal to the masses in a way because of all these like really high standards that they have. But I respect that too, but because of what they're putting out there, you have to respect them. You have to you have to do what they want in order to play the game, which I don't exactly incentivize or glorify, but there is a form of respect there for sure. Because if you're putting a lot of hard work, a lot of money into these games, the development, the process, all these things, the branding, the marketing, then yeah, you deserve it fully. Yeah, obviously my favorite part was the single player.
Heads up.
Сюда, наверх! Я слышал! Закрепнем!
Hearing two. Looking for us. Two mercs, no uniforms.
Я что-то слышу. Сейчас. Эй! Кто здесь? Выйди! Покажи!
That was fun. It's actually the reason why I got the game originally, obviously, which is my process for all the Call of Duties. But just from watching gameplay, reviews, streams, because obviously I don't go into these games just Like now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty addicted. I'm pretty hooked. Just playing them and completing them and doing them. And it wasn't always like that, but with this game particularly, from what I did see, I was really invested. I was like, this looks really fucking cool. Dude, there's like night vision, there's stealth missions, special forces, like that's what I like. I don't really like the whole like boots on the ground, infantry. That's cool, and there's a time and place and mood for that, but this is definitely more of what I like more. Like if I had to pick one favorite thing out of the military as it is in general, this game offers everything I could want in it. There's only one other comparable game to something like this that I can think of. And even that one's great. But this is what gives me that. I think the other game does that a little bit better as far as like, you know, you're a small man squad, you're got all this cool stuff on, you are like a badass. You know, it's because of you that all the training, all the things you had to go through to get to that point of being able to kick ass in the most coolest fucking way possible. Dude, you don't fuck with those people, man, and you know that they're super cool. You have to want that so bad. And if you want it that badly enough, you will have it. To a point, right? And it's just really cool. Like, what a life, huh? It's literally like being a spy, but obviously in a very different light. Freaking 007 James Bond. You know, it's just so precise and tight and orderly, and like, I just love that. It's just you against the bad guys. That's it. There's no like hundreds, thousands of people, whatever. It's a very condensed, special, unique situation. And thankfully it's because of these guys why, you know, if you're thinking national security, man, they're the guys. That's it. And honestly, I just have so much respect for that in general, whether it is the Marines, whether it's Delta Force, whether it's shit, Spetsnaz, GSG-9, yada yada. It's just so cool, man, to really work and protect your country to like the fullest. I have respect for all of it in general, trust me, I really do, but for me, just who I am, this definitely appeals to me the most. The whole tactical, you know, do what you need to do, get in, get the fuck out. It's really cool, and this game doesn't just do that. Like, it's kind of a mix of like, hey, it's not just this sneaky all the time, but kind of a good balance of like a normal situation. Because it's not always going to be this, like, super condensed, really wild, crazy, short and sweet, completely dangerous type of mission or objective. So yeah, I mean, they just give you such a good insight on, you know, if you were a soldier in this day and age, and especially you're doing what these guys are doing, it's a really great way to kind of see through their eyes and feel for what they do, and it's cool too. You get to learn like all the code words they use, and I think the more military stuff you watch and play, the more you're gonna learn from it, naturally. So that's cool. You just get so much out of it. You get a great gaming experience. You get to learn some stuff. Perspective, I guess, either way. Knowledge, sure. And just entertainment. But yeah, the story is what you'd expect, you know, bad guys, go in, kill them, get done whatever you're doing. I don't know, go home. Do these guys go home? What sucks about Call of Duty is that they always throw you right into the action. It's non-stop. It does have a good flow to it in that sense. However, I don't know, just like show me what these guys and characters are like when they're just talking and hanging out, and they're real people. They're not just robot military people, right? I don't know, like, especially just character development. Like, let me get to know these guys a little bit more, and like, what would they do on just like a normal day? Not really in society per se, but just like with their brothers and sisters at base, or like, you know, just show me them eating, just show me them drinking a cup of coffee. I don't know, like, I want that out of a lot of games, and there's games like that. If you want that, you can find them. Like, it's not easy, but it's just a small personal thing that I think would be kind of nice. I think you'd appreciate these games more, but obviously they're trying to get straight to the point, be like, hey, this is an action game. It's an FPS. I mean, they try not to complicate it too much, which I get. Fine. So, yeah, the cinematics are great, the cutscenes are great, music's good, audio's good, the dialogue, sound design, pretty much what you'd expect. I mean, to be fair, all Call of Duties are kind of the same to me, and I know that's kind of a broad generalization. But yeah, you're playing some dude, fighting some dudes with some other dudes. I mean, but I think, but what's good to, the positive thing to get out of it is that I think with each game you take away a little piece of it with you, and that's kind of the best thing I get out of it myself. Cause like, sure, I'm not in the military, but like, even if I was, this is probably what I'd be playing, right? And that's what's cool too, is that like a lot of military guys do play this, and I just think that's kind of nice, because they deserve that, right? Like, they're out there saving the world. Hey, if you want to play a simulation of what we do, but in a fun way, go for it, by all means. And I'm sure it's just as enjoyable for them as it is for us normal folk, right? So, yeah, it's just really cool. I'm starting to respect this franchise so much more and more, because I think the more that I play them and learn more about them, sure, I don't do any deep dives or go down any rabbit holes, but yeah. Just really good. And then there is multiplayer.
Enemy at the warehouse. Reloading. Molotov out. We are in command here. Help.
Which I realize is like the meat and cheese, the kind of the basis for all of Call of Duty content. Yeah, it's what you'd expect. It's hard. It's not easy. It's really fast paced. It's not forgiving at all. If you compare them to the old ones, which you might not even really do or think about unless you actually do it. Like, even if you've played them before years ago, it's still, I don't know if it'll quite click in your mind quite the same, but it might, right? But like, yeah, the older ones are just arcadey and fun, and like, They're fast paced. They're so hard. It's Call of Duty. It's Twitch shooting. One shot, you're dead. Two shots, whatever. As soon as someone sees you, you're gone. You're deleted. You don't exist. And when that's all you do, like, potentially every day, like, yeah. You know, you got these dope-ass guns, and you're just fucking cracked and juiced beyond all belief. Holy cow, there's a lot of them out there. Just these super elite, you know, tryhards, sweats and all that, right? But, there's enough here where a player like me, casual, new, potentially, whatever, just anyone, right, goes into this game, they're gonna get their ass whooped. And they're gonna get broken in. They're either gonna have to decide in their head, like, hey, do I want to be better at this? Am I just gonna try it out, leave it alone? But I've played a bit of it. Went back in a couple times for hours and hours. Like, I didn't just play for like a match and then get out or whatever, right? But the kills that you do get, what you can accomplish, even in the short amount of time that you might invest into the game, because it's a commitment. You got to play every day to get anywhere. That's just how it is, you know. Yeah, there's enough there to even make me feel pretty good. Like, the gunplay feels so good where if I get a kill at all, I'm pretty damn happy. Like, hey, I killed someone that is more than likely a lot better than me. I mean, sure, it all just came down to advantage and angle, luck maybe, but that alone, it's good. Feels good. There's a reason why it's so popular and addicting and really big, is because, like, dude, I just don't think you can beat that gunplay. There's only like one comparable gunplay game I can think of personally that's out there, and obviously both games are, or they used to be, super tied together, but yeah, when I get to kill one of these, and you know, everyone's on a different level. It may not always be cracked players, it may be players just like me, maybe even newer players, you never really know. Or maybe they're just having an off day. It could be anything, man. People are at their house, they're playing this. Maybe they're tired, maybe they're hungry, maybe they're going through some stuff. You never know. But, like, I can get some good matches, and I can get some good kills, and it's a really cool feeling. It's cool to see just how things line up. Could be a certain map, could be a certain gun. Next thing you know, like, hey, I have a chance at going somewhere with this, getting good. And whether I choose to take that route or not, it just feels good. You know, all those endorphins and all that in the head, they really start rushing when you do well, because depending on how hard you're trying, like, I just kind of like chill back and just, you know, naturally give it a good run, and like, I'm not sitting there like, you know, fully 110% in it, but that's what I'm saying. Even just like a casual like me can really just play, and it gets you hooked. You never know if, and it could be because of all reasons. Maybe you're just mowing people down. Maybe it's just your day. Maybe you get some cool trick shots or some really good grenade tosses, or you're in the mood to like actually be into it, and like, oh, I'm actually this guy and I'm facing against other people, and I realize it's just training, but I'm gonna give it my all, and I want to rank up and be the very best there ever was. You can definitely do that. It's not hard to not do. And I know I keep glorifying the graphics and everything, but that is a big part of what is getting you to want to be better, if just to get to that point at all. And another thing could potentially be like other modes, like maybe you really like capture the flag, maybe you really like something like, I forgot what they called it, but it's some sort of like supremacy, what I would call it, mode, where you have to get their dog tags and stuff. Because it's funny, because everyone around you, at least for me, is gonna be just shooting each other, getting kills, woo! But then there's me, who's like, I'm gonna actually do the objectives. I want to capture the flags, I want to grab the medallions, the dog tags. And that's how you win. That's how you win the objective, that's how you unlock cool shit, that's how you get on the featured screen when there's 3 players that did the best in the game with what they ended up doing, their role that they played basically. So whether you're getting all the kills or not, or whether you're more objective based, or you have a chance to be like a top 3 player in that match, and I think that's really cool because granted, I like stuff like this where it's only like, you know, a small team versus like 6v6, something like that. It's pretty cool, right? Like you're not alone, but you're not, there's not too many people, it's not too crowded. It's like a nice middle ground. It's like a nice balance kind of thing. And yeah, it does feel good, because even for someone like me to get on that top 3, it's nice. Because you spend so long getting your butt whooped by all these guys that are just clearly so much better. And it's kind of disheartening. Like, I don't let it get to me too much, but they, you know, it just kind of sucks always seeing other people get featured and they do all these cool things and they're so skilled, and whether they even get actual attention from that or not, or someone messages them, oh, you were so good, dude, or whatever. Like, it just makes you look good no matter what, whether you're streaming, whether you're making a video just for yourself. So yeah, there's definitely some good things there to be said. But there's nothing like it either. Like, maybe it happens by chance. Ultimately, yeah, wanting to be on that top 3 is kind of the goal, but like, it's not always gonna happen. It's such a competitive space that good luck. But that's what drives people. I've just never been like a team player, sports. I realize, like, if you get really good, like, dude, there's potential to be on esports and make money, be on a team, get sponsored. It's pretty cool. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. It's not for me, but I respect it. You know, whether you just play for fun after work, or you have a team of friends who you play with all the time, and you guys get together, you're doing the most hardcore mode that there is, you're quick scoping, you're all homies, bros, talking shit. I don't know. It's not who I am, but it's a lifestyle that, like, I understand. Like, it's just you and your friends and your homies, and you know, the world can be such a cruel place, and you want to I mean, this is a good game to just kind of embrace the fact that, like, not everything's pretty. Not everything is like, it's just a good reality check, a good wake-up call to realize, like, you know, life can be hard. It's tough. Especially when your life's on the line and you're giving up everything you could have had otherwise, or whatever, right? Whatever people's reasons are for joining the military at all. You know, I guess this could be considered a good way to show our appreciation for what they do by playing games like this and expressing that, you know, hey, we may not be doing this for real, but we push ourselves to such a point where they inspire us. People like that inspire us to be better and do better. I don't know, just deep stuff like that. So yeah, good game. Basically, every game I review, every movie, it's gonna be something I like. And I'll say positive points, good points, bad points, whatever. But generally, everything I play or watch, for the most part, it's gonna be like a 9 out of 10, basically. Asking a 10 out of 10 out of me is... That's... yeah. There are 10 out of 10s out there for me, but I'll get to those later, right? Yeah, it's good.